Titanfall 2 is probably my favorite shooter of all time. It's super underrated, and it's one of those games that's easy to pick up but really hard to master. Honestly, this game has been holding me hostage lately, but I've definitely developed a little bit of a Stockholm syndrome for it because it's just a goated game, and I'm not even complaining about being addicted to it, if I'm being honest. I don't think I've ever even made any Titanfall 2 content on this channel before, so this obviously makes me the most qualified person to rank all the Titans, and you should definitely take my opinion very seriously. Slash S. And if you don't care about Titanfall 2, well, you're just wrong, because this game is amazing. But even if you've never played it, if you've never cared about it, hopefully the way I analyze each Titan will inspire you to make your own ranking for your favorite game. So before we get into the rankings, here's a quick disclaimer. This list is mainly focused on gameplay strength and attrition, not lore, not looks, not fun, and not other game modes because I mainly play attrition. I'll be judging each Titan based on how well they perform in actual matches. Things like survivability, damage output, versatility, and how much they can carry a game. And of course, this is all just my opinion, so feel free to drop your own opinion in the comments. Just try to keep it civil when I inevitably put your favorite Titan lower than you think it deserves, okay? So in F tier, we've got nothing. I genuinely don't think any of the 7 Titans are bad enough to land here. The truth is, every Titan in Titanfall 2 can be played to greatness if you know your enemy and you know what you're doing. That being said, not all Titans are created equal, and in D tier, we've got the hunk of burn and love himself, Scorch. Scorch is basically the definition of, once I finally catch up to you, you're dead. He's got stupidly high DPS potential and can absolutely melt Titans if you can get in their face. Unfortunately, that's a big if. His primary does solid damage against Titans, but its slow projectile-like nature means it's only reliable at close to mid-range. The real damage comes from when you trap a Titan in your incendiary traps, hit him with a canister, wall him off with a firewall, and they're burning to death. Flame Core is also great. It can wipe out damaged Titans in an instant, and on paper, Scorch sounds terrifying. Here's the problem. He's slow, he's huge, and he's running on one dash. Being an ogre frame makes him tanky, sure, but it also makes him a really big and easy target if you can keep your distance. He does have a surprisingly decent matchup against Tone, which is worth mentioning, but overall, Scorch is just kinda too much of an overcooked lard ball to hang out with the top tiers. Next in C tier, we've got Northstar. I'm a fierce markswoman, fear me, but don't get too close because I'll run away. Northstar is an excellent long-range Titan. Her plasma railgun will one-shot pilots, and fully charged, it'll do pretty decent damage to Titans. Her hover ability can give her unique angles that no other Titan could utilize, and her tether traps are actually hilarious if you combine them with nuclear ejection. Unfortunately, she kinda has the opposite problem Scorch has. She has good presence long range, but if a Ronin or Scorch gets too close, she just has too little health to survive. Her being a Strider frame makes her able to run away from danger, which is why she is better than Scorch in my humble opinion, but her reduced health really hurts her in the long run. Also, Flight Core, probably the single worst core in the game. It can do a lot of damage to Titans, but every core that focuses on damage is actually better. So while she's good at doing spikes of high damage from cover, just sneeze on her up close and she's dead. Next, in B tier, we've got Legion. We are Legion. We are many, many pounds heavier than you, that is. Legion actually has a really solid loadout all around. His hit scan primary is one of the best in the game. It'll turn pilots into Swiss cheese, and it can do a lot of steady damage to Titans. I'm a big sucker for Titans that do constant streams of damage to other Titans, and Legion fits that role nicely. His damage abilities are nice. His defensive rifle shield is actually pretty good, because he can still fire with it up, and unlike Tone, his shield can move around. Having a uniquely good matchup against Monarch is definitely worth noting, and Smart Core is straight up broken. It can delete Titans and pilots without you having to aim precisely at all. Seriously, if you've ever wanted to use aimbot without getting banned, pick Legion. So why wouldn't you pick Legion? Well, like Scorch, he's a big boy. He's slow, bulky, and stuck with just one dash because of that ogre frame. He's way better than Scorch in my opinion in almost every way, but that limited mobility just holds him back. So Legion is an awesome Titan with a great loadout. Just be prepared to play like a sedentary turret. Next up, above Legion but still in B tier, we've got Ronin. Omae o amu shinderu. Nani? Ronin's one of the best Titans in the game if you know what you're doing, and one of the worst in the game if you don't. His primary kinda sucks, but that sword. The sword replaces your fist as your melee weapon, and it comes with the abilities of Arc Wave and Sword Block. Arc Wave is pretty good, slows Titans down and does good damage to Titans and will one-shot pilots. But Sword Block, hands down the best defensive ability in the game. Blocking 75% of all incoming damage is huge, and your ability to phase dash makes you literally unkillable for short amounts of time. And don't even get me started on Swordcore. He takes Scorch's motto, once I finally catch up to you, you're dead, and turned it into once I inevitably catch up to you, you're dead. Dash's charging that quickly, on top of being a Strider frame, makes him the most mobile Titan in the game, and that sword will destroy Titans with Swordcore. The main reason why he's not higher on the tier list is it is really, really hard to use him right. Also, like Northstar, if he's caught with his pants down, he becomes an easy target. At least he's a small target, and a very mobile one, and because being aggro with him is his whole point, it actually makes sense to be a Strider frame. So he's better than Northstar and probably better than Legion, but ultimately his fate rests in your hands, young samurai. Now we move on to A tier, where we've got Ion. Northstar would come up to Ion and ask, "Who are you?" And Ion would confidently respond, "I'm you," but better in pretty much every way. Ion is the best Titan in the game if you love that long-range peeking in and out of covered gameplay. Her laser shot is probably an even better sniper than Northstar's plasma railgun, and it's not even her primary. How embarrassing. Now, Ion's primary kinda sucks, unless you aim down sights, but then it just sucks energy from your energy pool. Ion is unique in that she has an energy pool, but if you use her tools right, she can really put up a fight. The fact that her defensive ability can be an Uno reverse card is also really good. Just make sure you're using it in the right moments, because, once again, that energy pool. Her laser tripwire mines are also good at dealing damage to Titans that get too close, and being an Atlas frame, she's got the best of both worlds with mobility and health. Because of her primary, her mines, and her shield, she's not completely defenseless if someone gets too close, unlike Northstar. And once you get that laser core, that enemy pilot can pretty much kiss their Titan goodbye. So what holds her back? Well, she doesn't do that much in the department of raw damage. You do have to play her like you would Northstar. But you do have a safety net around, like yourself, with the tripwires should anyone get too close. Ultimately, play her right and she will serve you very well. Next in A tier, of course, we've got the sender of scrubs to the salt mines herself, Tone. Make one mistake against the Tone and you're dead meat. Tone is like Legion in that she can dish out a consistent stream of damage, but that damage can add up to a lot, and she can do it with ease. Her 40 mil primary will straight up delete pilots, and do pretty decent damage to Titans too. But once you damage a Titan 3 times, you can launch a barrage of guided missiles that are very hard to miss if you aim straight up with them. She has one of the best defensives in the game in the form of the particle wall, where they can't shoot through it, but you can. She also gets a sonar lock which can support her team and give her a lock for the tracking rockets. Shoot, shoot, shoot rockets. Do that enough times and you get the salvo core. Probably the best damaging core in the game. And the best part, a monkey could use Tone to great effect. That's part of the reason that she gets a lot of hate in the community. But one thing the community seems to forget is Tone is not unkillable. If you can manage to dash through the particle wall and get in her face, she can become pretty defeatable. A Ronin is probably Tone's worst nightmare, straight up, and plenty of Titans can out-damage her if they can get past her defensive. But Tone is great at inducing panic from any pilot manning any Titan, and with panic comes mistakes. Play against the Tone perfectly and you might succeed, but if you mess up once, you might as well start praying. So, we've made it to S tier, where we've got the world's strongest butterfly. It's Monarch. Like a pawn in a chess game, She may not be that hot at first, but she could be promoted to a frickin' queen. Monarch is by far the most customizable Titan, using her upgrade core to gain up to 3 upgrades that the player can choose, but more on that later. Her primary is probably the best Titan primary in the game. It's very good at killing pilots and can do a lot of burst damage to a Titan, especially if you crit. Her energy siphon can drain a little bit of a Titan's health or shield to give you shield, all while slowing the Titan down. The slowed Titan is now susceptible to your rocket salvo, a barrage of rockets similar to Tone's, except it can be fired at any time. And once you energy siphon them and hit them with rockets, you get to do it again. With her rearm, you can reset all your cooldowns and do it all over again. All of this builds your core, the upgrade core. In my opinion, the best core in the game, even though it does no damage on its own. It gives you shield, but more importantly, it gives you an upgrade. So why is this so powerful? It's because truthfully at first, Monarch is not all that strong, probably on par with the North Star. But then you can get a tier 1 upgrade and either make your primary better or your rocket salvo twice as good. And then you've already got a pretty solid Titan, maybe on par with the Ronin. Then you can upgrade again and get a tier 2 upgrade, which can give you Maelstrom, which turns your electric smoke into electric death. It fries pilots, and you can do obscene damage to Titans. And since you get more smokes every time you upgrade or use your upgrade core, this already gives Monarch a pretty solid argument for being the best Titan in the game. But then you can upgrade a 3rd time, and either make your primary even better, or turn you into an unkillable goddess with 6 bars of health. And at that point it's over. Monarch, more than any other Titan in the game, can become an overpowered monster that will turn the best players into salt miners. And I'm not even done. One of the coolest parts about Monarch is you don't even have to play her that way if you don't want to. You can easily be a supportive Monarch that can heal your teammates with ease and turn you into an even better support player than Tone. So yeah, a Titan with the ability to turn into a menace and be adaptable to lots of different playstyles. There's your S tier. Phew, that was a lot to go through. So thank you so much for watching. Now you've been informed on all 7 Titans, and now you've been enabled to tell me how my tier list is the worst take on YouTube. So please leave your comments about what you think down below. Feel free to share your opinions, because that's what makes this game great. You can disagree with me, and you're still an elite pilot. Thank you all for watching. Peace.